Bitcoin mining has again come under scrutiny as the US regulators are now analyzing its consumption of electricity. The administration of US President Joe Biden has sent out an emergency collection of data requests related to the power consumption of Bitcoin miners. The move has sparked a uproar as the crypto enthusiasts are viewing the decision to be a Bitcoin against the US currency conflict. So don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and let's start. Starting off with, the US government has failed us in every way possible. Bitcoin is literally our only option left. When the US national debt is at $34 trillion, the debt per taxpayer is $264,000, and that's a massive number for every single for every single person right there. Breaking news is new record Bitcoin hash rate. Look at just this huge number per second, as it really massive. Next up, what do we have? 1% Bitcoin is 900 trillion of total liquidity. 1% $9 trillion. Half the both a multiple, because 118 and 1 is just 2 to refine. 52 1 is that what we are getting is 9 trillion, which is 450 trillion market cap. As 21.4 million per Bitcoin. What the hell? Is it actually true? I don't think so. These calculations are some kind of big, and I don't think that it will ever happen to Bitcoin. Bill Miller knows a thing or two about contrarian investing and making big bets over the course of decades. He now has max conviction in Bitcoin, and he puts his money where his mouth is with 50% plus allocation. He will be proven right about Bitcoin. Next up, my generational theory is that Bitcoin is consolidating in the coming months, pre-halving a final run towards resistance at 48,500, after that another correction to 36,000, 38,000, and from there altcoins to continue outperforming Bitcoin. Next up, yes, to all those buying Bitcoin ETFs, is the tax advantages really worth it? Think twice before you buy paper Bitcoin. To all those buying Bitcoin ETFs in their retirement accounts, is avoiding capital gains taxes really worth the long-term risk of not holding your own keys? If we head towards a world where Bitcoin replaces the dollar, do you really think the government is going to just go quietly into the night? Or are they going to kick and scream and take anything that's under their jurisdiction? The ETFs will be the first to be seized for national security. And here's the irony: if you believe in Bitcoin long term, then you won't be paying capital gains taxes anyway, because there will be no dollar to convert those gains into. If you already got IRA funds, go ahead and buy the ETF, but I wholeheartedly disagree with putting new funds into your IRA to buy the ETF for tax savings. Disclaimer: I have some old IRA funds that I bought the ETF with because I am too lazy to cash it out and deal with the penalties and tax headache, but I haven't contributed to an IRA in 5 years, and all my savings buys real Bitcoin. Next up is Bitcoin is making itself ready for a massive move, as liquidity is piling up in both directions. Which one is it going to hit? We still don't know, but we are ready for drop or for the rise. We are ready for both. If it drops, we are buying more. If it goes up, we are taking profits. The US government seems to be closing in on Bitcoin mining, as the US Department of Energy is taking a closer look at Bitcoin mining. Is this cause for alarm? More specifically, the Energy Information Administration, a statistics agency under DOE, will survey the electricity use of selected US-based miners over the coming 6 months, starting next week, after putting out an emergency collection of data requests. This is an expert from the Node newsletter, and let's have a look what do they say. Given the phrasing of an emergency order and the current administration's crypto-critical stance, many are worrying that the information collected will be used to inform potentially harmful policies to the mining industry. It is public filing. The EIA cites the possibility of public harm from crypto mining for collecting the data. EIA is policy-neutral agency that does not create policy, implement policy, enforce policy, or comment on policy. EIA spokesperson Morgan Butterfield told the CoinDesk in emailed responses, "Results from the data we collect will help inform our path forward regarding a regular 3-year clearance during the next 6 months." But being policy neutral doesn't necessarily mean the survey won't influence policy. There are reasons enough to believe that simply by running this survey, the EIA is asking questions about the larger purpose of Bitcoin and whether it benefits society and already has an answer in mind. For instance, the justification for the emergency order granted by the Office of Management and Budget was the recent crypto price rally, as which saw Bitcoin climb over 50% in a matter of months, which the EIA said would incentivize more crypto mining activity, which in turn increases electricity consumption. Given the emerging and rapidly changing nature of this issue, then because we cannot quantitatively assess the likelihood of public harm, EIA feels a sense of urgency to generate credible data that would provide the insight into the unfolding issue. It said. As Butterfield said, 82 firms operating approximately 150 facilities were selected to represent the universe of cryptocurrency companies across the country. And the agency pointed to a cold snap that hit Plattsburgh in 2018 to justify the risks crypto poses to the public. And the combined effects of increased crypto mining and stressed electricity system create a heightened uncertainty in electric power markets, which could result in demand peaks that affect system operations and consumer prices, it wrote. Also, Bitcoin mining comes under Biden government's radar ahead of key elections. Bitcoin mining has again come under scrutiny as US regulators are now analyzing its consumption of electricity. The administration of US President Joe Biden has sent out an emergency collection of data requests related to the power consumption of Bitcoin miners. The move has sparked uproar as crypto enthusiasts are viewing the decision to be a Bitcoin against the US currency conflict. US EIA to gather data on electricity consumption by Bitcoin miners, as the Energy Information Administration is scheduled to start the immediate data gathering this coming week. This comes after the Biden administration approved an emergency investigation into the amount of electricity Bitcoin and cryptocurrency miners are using. And as part of an emergency data collection request approved by the Office of Management and Budget of January 26, people who indulge in Bitcoin mining will have to reply with information about how much energy they use. And this will include people who use powerful computers to verify transactions and maintain the blockchain in exchange for freshly minted coins. So dollars versus Bitcoin, as where is investors' traction going? According to Forbes, supporters of Bitcoin are becoming more and more fervent in their belief that the US currency is about to collapse. The concerns stem due to this massive increase in the number of dollars in debt brought about the COVID-19 pandemic. As of today, the total debt in the US stands at $34 trillion as all-time high. And markets are concerned that their current scrutiny over Bitcoin mining might just be another way for the US government to impose better regulations in the future. So that's all the information we have on a Bitcoin today. If you are interested in more, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next one, and peace.